TBS EFM. Seoul Smarts, your one-stop guide to living in Seoul from TBS EFM.
On this Seoul Smarts, multicultural family support centers. Each of Seoul's 24 districts have a representative multicultural family support center. These locations offer a series of programs that aim to assist foreigners in adjusting to life in Korea. Although the specific initiatives vary depending on district, they all cover these general sectors: Korean language education, interpretation and translation, counseling and case management, occupational training, and more. Services are free for registered members. Find a center near you by browsing the search engine at www.liveinkorea.kr.
Seoul Smarts. Get the latest living tips on TBS EFM 101.3.
The time for rebirth and renewal. Spring is a delightful season for many, but it's also the time when allergies make a comeback.
It's important for allergy sufferers to know how to control their environments to minimize symptoms. Pollen, fine dust, yellow dust, and mold are the major causes to watch out for. Make it a habit to wear a mask when outdoors and to wash your hands with soap under warm running water immediately after returning home.
Although ventilating your home is important, avoid doing so on days where dust levels are high. Cover your bed with a separate sheet during the day and maintain an appropriate level of humidity. The best way to keep allergy symptoms at bay is to prevent them from being triggered.
The time is 7 p.m. Give us a call wherever you are. Tell us about your day. You can reach us from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be waiting here on The Scoop.
Welcome back to The Scoop. We have a quick announcement before we continue the program. Tune into TBS EFM every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. for COVID-19 live updates. Every day from 9 to 9:30 a.m. information will be given in English, and to cater to our listeners from 9:30 to 10 a.m. it will be in Chinese. Also, Korea's Ministry of the Interior and Safety has launched an emergency app in English and Chinese. It is called Emergency Ready app, and it offers emergency contact numbers and first aid tips in urgent situations. So Emergency Ready app, you can download that on your mobile app stores. This is the first week of the revamped Scoop here at TBS EFM. Again, thank you guys for calling in and participating throughout our show. Tell me how you're doing. What happened during the day? Did a colleague get on your nerves? Do you want to give a shout out to someone special? Please let me know. Our phone number is 02-778-1013. We are live Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And you can even recommend or request songs. You can text us at pound 1013. It costs 51 per message. Remember, today's fill in the blank is, if I win an award, it would be for blank. We have Im Hyun-jung in the studio, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Wanna buy the hottest items you've just seen on a Korean TV show? Download Gmarket Global application and experience smart and easy international shopping right now. Your smart international shopping buddy, Gmarket Global. You shop, we ship all over the world. Just search Gmarket Global at your app store.
최고의 뮤지션이 그러하듯 늘 새로운 시도로 시대를 바꿔온 차 소렌토가 돌아왔습니다. 신규 플랫폼과 2열 독립 시트, 신형 2.2 디젤 엔진까지 또 한 번 SUV의 트렌드가 바뀌겠군요. 새로운 시대의 라이프 플랫폼 소렌토.
That was variations on the theme of Arirang by Im Hyun-jung. And joining us today is the pianist herself, Im Hyun-jung, who created a sensation in the music world when she performed the complete Beethoven sonatas over 8 consecutive days, selling out theaters in Paris in 2010. She was praised by the public and critics alike, including the New York Times, BBC Music, and The Telegraph for her recordings at the EMI Classics. She is also the first and only classical pianist to debut at #1 on the Billboard Classic chart and on the iTunes chart all over the world. Welcome to the studio, Hyun-jung.
Thank you.
What an introduction, right?
What a presentation. Thanks so much. And thank you for receiving me as well.
Wow, we just heard variations on the theme of Arirang.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
this piece actually, I have written this piece, I think something like 7 years ago.
Sure.
I just really wanted to do publicity for my country, you know,
Mhm.
because when I arrived in France in '99, like almost nobody knew about Korea, you know, and
Yeah.
I was very shocked with the fact that almost nobody knew about Korea, and you know, I'm very, I think I'm someone that is very patriotic.
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 You have a lot
yeah,
of KP, Korean pride.
I think I'm very proud of being Korean, and I like to play this piece as an encore.
Sure. All right. So welcome to the Scoop, Hyunjung, and our general theme. I think you heard from outside.
Yes.
Is awards.
Yes.
So I know you won a lot of musical awards. This is pretty awesome, right?
Yes.
You're up the Billboard classical charts, the iTunes charts. Every publication talks about you. But what about in other fields? What would you win an award for?
I think I would win an award for playing in Seoul Station, train station, for homeless people. I think I would really like that. I think I just love this to discuss with them.
Yes.
And they have such an interesting life story, and I think I would like to win an award for playing in the station, in a train station, for everybody.
So basically win an award for being an angel, right?
Well, not just a human being. I think just for being a human being like everybody else, and to bring classical music for everybody.
Right,
Yes.
right. Well, we want to ask our listeners the same question. If I were to win an award, I would win blank. 만약 blank 대회가 있다면 제가 1등 할 거예요. Let us know. Here's our handle. You can text us at pound 1013. It costs 51 per message. Or you could give us a call at 02-778-1013. All right, let's get straight into this. Now, obviously, because of the situation right now, Hyunjung, music concerts and events have been canceled around the world.
Yeah.
Has it affected you in any way?
Of course, a lot. Actually, I have written a book on Beethoven for the 250th anniversary of birth, and I had to play almost all Beethoven's piano sonatas, and I had a tour planned, and everything was cancelled,
Yes.
and I can't play any concerts. I mean, everything is closed.
Yeah.
And so I have no possibility to play for an audience. So well, it was I think kind of a chance for me, because I started to do the live streaming on YouTube.
Yes.
And this platform, to dialogue with public directly, and via the chatting, the live chatting.
Yes. We're doing that right now on YouTube as well.
I like it. And it is a very different way to communicate with an audience, because you receive directly at the same time all the questions, and you can answer at the same time, and it is something very, very direct,
I mean, the feedback, right?
Yeah,
the audience responds to your music, and also you can talk back to them. If they ask you a question like, Hyunjung, like, how did you prepare for this and this? And then you can, how did you come up with this composition? When they ask you questions, you can directly ask. Has it been successful so far? What's your YouTube handle? I want to hear it.
Well, I'm not a YouTuber, obviously, but I just like the experience. I just love so much this spontaneous dialogue. When you're on the stage, you're very far from the public, and you're like a star. You're like inapproachable, and you're like
there's a spotlight
diva
on
or
you.
something like that. And on YouTube, like with live streaming, you're like friends with people, and that is a very fantastic experience for me.
Well, despite the Billboard classical charts, the iTunes classical charts, you once thought of just quitting music altogether and becoming a monk.
Yes.
Is what my production team said, and I'm so glad you did not do that. Can you tell us why you just wanted to quit music? Why?
Yeah, well, so when you study piano, obviously you study like art, and by studying art, it brought me in this field of spirituality, because I do all the efforts to remove like ego from my piano, and it was something very philosophical and very spiritual. And I had a retreat before entering to the Paris Conservatory, and I just really loved this concentration, exclusive concentration on the essence, on what is really essential in life, and like I didn't want to think about my hair, about my clothes. Like I just wanted to explore my inner life, but only what is very essential to me in life.
Sure.
And and like the Buddhist master who trained me, he refused me actually. He
Oh,
didn't
really?
want me to become
He's like,
a
I
monk.
see something in you, and you cannot be a monk. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
almost like this, and he rejected me,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
felt rejected. I mean, I was really shocked, and so you know, I had no choice but being pianist. So I entered to the Paris Conservatory, and what happened is that I realized that this exploration of what is essential, I can also do it on piano as well.
Oh.
I can also do it on music through music.
Please elaborate. Yeah, yeah. What do you mean by that?
Well, because like being an artist, I think you explore your soul,
Sure.
and by exploring your soul, you explore what is essential as well.
Yes,
and
of
you
course.
you explore what is invisible to the eyes. And I think Saint-Exupéry, he said in this Little Prince, is that what is essential is invisible to the eyes. It is only visible to the heart. And I think that is what I'm exploring with piano
Yeah.
and through music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that was deep.
What
What's
is the-
essential is only felt through your heart.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
invisible.
Well, it is for children book. It is a book for
Yeah.
a child, you know. And I think anything that is very simple, when you go directly into what is essential, it is very simple.
That's true.
Actually,
That
yeah.
is true. No, sometimes children's books, you learn so much from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back to your YouTube channel, though, it seems like your first video, you're sitting in front of a piano in Switzerland.
Oh yes.
And it seems like it was an outdoor stage in
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Switzerland.
yeah.
When was this? And can you tell us about the experience?
Yeah, I think it was like something like 3 years ago. We organized a huge Korean party. You know Chuseok? We actually,
course, yeah, Chuseok.
we celebrated Chuseok in Neuchâtel, in Switzerland.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
and it was a huge event. Like all the city was mobilized, and they, I mean, it was in the Jardin Botanique, botanical garden,
Uh-huh.
and they put this piano in outdoor, and I think there was something like 4,000 of people that came.
Yes,
that came,
yes.
and there was like many Korean expositions as well, and many Korean artists. And it was a fantastic experience because I felt like the nature was also dancing with my music. I could literally feel the wind through my between my hairs, you know, and I felt like I'm playing with the sun, the light of sun, with the wind, with the trees moving around, and it was fantastic. And I think for me, I feel the best when I'm in the nature.
Oh,
And,
really?
and I just want to bring my piano, but unfortunately my instrument is so heavy.
Yeah, it's
So
not
it's not
something you
possible.
can bring to the wilderness,
Yes,
right?
so I'm very envious, very jealous of singer or violinist or flutist. I mean, they
Yeah.
can bring anywhere the instrument.
That's true. That's
And,
true.
yeah.
I mean, but still, I'm sure that was a spectacular performance in
Oh.
Switzerland. That one Chuseok, that track that you performed there. Can you please introduce it for us because we want to play that for our listeners
Oh
right
yes,
now.
it's Arabesque de Debussy. It is composed in early ages of Debussy when he was quite young, and many even children play this piece, and it is arabesque, something very floating. It's like a river. It is like it's very very natural music, and I don't know what to say. You just by listening to it, you will feel, but you can feel all the elements of beautiful nature.
So Debussy.
Debussy. Claude Debussy, arabesque.
By Yin Hyunja. We'll be right back after we take a listen. but I hear the birds in the background.
Yes.
I hear the nature in the background. It's not the same as just hearing it in on a stage.
Yeah, on the studio.
You hear like some sort of wind and the audio because as a radio host, I'm very attentive to audio,
Sure.
and so it's just not just like a regular piano.
Yeah, it is alive.
Yeah,
and
it is
I
alive.
feel like every notes are dancing really.
Right.
With birds and with everything.
With
Yes.
nature all at once.
Yes.
6497 says, what a beautiful piece. It feels so good at the same time.
Oh.
Thank you for the music.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow, so Hyunjung, it seems like, the New York Times, BBC Music, the Telegraph, they're all just praising you about your Beethoven Sonata recordings. Among these reviews, was there one that stood out for you?
Yes.
Which one?
Well, it is really funny, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, be careful. It was like by Telegraph, and they told like the title was musical Viagra. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this here.
Brandon, but it's okay. It's all
Okay,
right.
mosaic or something.
That's what they said?
Yes, that's what they said. And,
Oh, wow.
It is the funniest one, and I'm obliged to tell this, you know.
Yes.
And
I guess
wow.
it's a compliment, right? It's a
I guess it's
compliment. Compliment. Well, you know what? Did you know this? But 2020,
Yes.
it marks the 250th birthday of Beethoven.
Yes.
And you recently published a book about Beethoven titled in Korean, 당신에게 베토벤을 선물합니다.
Yeah.
In English, it means I present Beethoven to you. Can you
Yes.
briefly introduce this book to us?
Well, I just really wanted to present Beethoven as a human being, like a real human being, because we tend to see Beethoven as a historical figure, like a statue, like historical statue, like he's very unapproachable, and it is something like very sacred, and we feel like he's a god.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very venerable, respectable, and everything. But he was a human being like us. He had many failures, and he fell in love many times, and he loved women as well. And he was a very passionate human being, and he was a man as well. I mean, he was a human being like us, and he wanted to, take his life, take off his life as well. He had this attempt of suicide,
So he was human. He went through struggles. He went through love, and maybe that's what made his music so human.
Exactly, and I think he was no a classical composer. I think he was so innovative. He was a revolutionary as well. And if Beethoven heard us talking about him as being classical musician, classical composer, I think he would wow, he would get very angry, and maybe I don't know. I mean, he had an incredible temperament as well. So it is those human traits that I wanted to portray in my book, and to rediscover actually Beethoven.
Wow, Hyunjung. So our writer just told me that you brought this book in as a gift for us at the Scoop. That is so sweet of you.
Oh,
Thank
really?
you so
Thank
much.
you.
I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read it. Thank you so much. Now, for this, I mean, besides Beethoven, who would you say has the biggest impact in your life, musician-wise?
Well,
Would it be Beethoven?
Yes, of course, because of his incredible wisdom as human being. I think because he went through so many failures. Like he was not a genius when he was a child. Like he was not a Mozart, And the fact that he made so much effort to survive all those extreme situations, like handicap, like violence, domestic violence as well.
Yes,
when he was a child, and all those extreme situations that he overcame is an example for me. But I also like Maria Callas.
Yes.
As an artist and also as a human being, and yes. I mean, they're like rare artists are an example as human being,
Yeah.
They are maybe a genius, like artistical genius, but as a human being, it is very difficult to find somebody that is an example. And in this way, Beethoven is really an example for me. Not saying that he's perfect, but like he embraced his imperfection.
Sure.
And that is what,
And
that's very,
he's a genius.
Yes.
He's a genius
as well. He's a genius as well.
What was the message that you wanted to deliver to readers through your book?
Well, many messages. I just wanted to, for them to maybe recover their confidence.
Yeah.
Like Beethoven could. Like Beethoven had this inestimable confidence in himself. Well, yeah, this trust, like you trust yourself and like you have this faith in you, and it is very difficult for especially young people, I think, especially these days where you have to succeed, you have so many, it's like body image, you have to be perfect, you have to be perfect, be perfect with your body, with your brain, and you have to be so intelligent. And Beethoven was not very handsome, Beethoven was not tall.
Yeah,
He was almost like ugly. I mean, somebody portrayed him as being ugly as well, and he had this handicap, like he was deaf, And as a deaf composer, he composed all those symphonies, all those incredible musical pieces, and he overcame, I would say, not being perfect physically,
But his music was perfect, so it doesn't really matter.
Yes, and the thing that he could overcome all those imperfections.
Yes.
I think it shows us an incredidible courage and incredible. Like you don't have to be perfect to have faith in you or to trust you or to have confidence in you. Yeah.
I want you to promote some of your events coming up. So when social distancing measures are lifted, can we see you perform anywhere?
Yes, you can see me perform and talk about music on live streaming on my YouTube channel.
Sure.
I have a HJ Lim official YouTube channel, which is mine. Well, I'm not a YouTuber, but
still, no, you're posting up music.
Yes, but this COVID-19 gave me this chance to,
try new things.
Try really new things, and yes. So you can see me, quite regularly. I'm doing this live streaming on YouTube.
And the last song we'll listen to is a track from your album. Why don't you introduce this for us?
Yes, the last song is The Moonlight, Beethoven Piano Sonata. Well, this piece was composed when Beethoven was rejected by Giulietta, who was in love with Beethoven, but she finished by marrying another composer, like an amateur composer, and that was like even more insulting. And just after he composed this piece, he will try to kill himself as well. So it is very dark piano sonata.
It's a very dark one, right?
Dark one, yes.
Yeah, after rejection and a lot of mental hardships.
Yeah, and also the handicap, like hearing problems as well.
Yeah.
That was horrible at the time. And yes, but still, like I think when you express despair in music, it helps you to create this catharsis.
Yes.
Catharsis, and it helps you to overcome your difficulties.
Yeah, well, we're going to hear this as we send you off, Hyunjung. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for receiving me.
Yeah, next time we see you, let's play some live music.
Well, if you have a grand piano, though.
I'll bring one in just for you.
Just for me,
TBS EFM, we're getting a grand piano
for a day.
All right, Hyunjung, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.